The Wilderness Within You, the 20th day of Lent, which is the Monday of week 4. Our reading is from the Gospel of John, the 12th chapter, verses 24 to 26. I'm reading from the New International Version of the Bible. Very truly, I tell you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. Anyone who loves their life will lose it, while anyone who hates their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, my servant also will be. Some people's gardens can be a sort of wilderness. Ours can. You should see, when there's been a wet June, when the broad beans get going, and the peas, and the marrow plants are getting into their stride, and the perpetual spinach is up, and the potatoes, oh man, like a forest. Not to mention the weeds, which do very well in all the compost we make out of our veggie scraps. If you were about 3 years old, or even just a rather short adult, you could easily feel you got lost in some untouched valley in the Amazon basin. The word primeval comes easily to mind. But right now everything is calmer than that, austere even. The daffodils are out, and the bluebells are in leaf, but not in flower yet, and we have some glorious tulips. The herbs are all sprouting vigorously, but everything is still calm. It's later on that wild, rioting, go, go, go phase comes onto the scene, and I'll be staggering up and down the path with cans of water from the house roof rain we harvested in our bevy of water butts, 700 litres capacity in all, during the summer, satisfying the thirst of plants that have flowers and leaves to support, and night after night of fresh vegetables for our supper, growing on their stems and vines and out of sight in the earth underneath our feet. At the moment, the seeds are still here in the shed, in their packets. The wind from the sea blows across this hilltop, and our garden is a cold, wild place in March. We don't sow early. But the seed potatoes are on the shelf under the window in the shed, where they can start sprouting, ready to go in the ground in a week or 2. We follow tradition and plant them on Good Friday. We go to chapel on that day, of course, but we find time to put the potatoes in as well. We plant them in trenches, the earth piled up between the rows, because you have to earth them up 3 times as they grow. When the first leaves come up, we cover them from the heaped earth alongside the trenches, and then they grow through that, and we cover them again, and now the potato patch looks flat. The 3rd time we cover them, and now the hills run along where the potatoes are growing, and the valleys lie in between, and then we let them be. I show Jesus the seed packets with the photos on the front that together make a collage of English summer. Carrots and beetroot, but also sweet peas and snapdragons, love in the mist, and night-scented stocks, and nasturtiums, which will be like having our own Van Gogh's painted garden. Nasturtiums look and taste brilliant in a salad. Unless a seed fall into the ground and die. I look at him sidelong and feel sadness and awe that he got to be the seed, the one that died to bring hope to life again for the whole human race, the harvest of salvation. But here it comes again, the same teaching, that I must fall into the ground and die as well, let go of everything, be lost from sight and fall into cold darkness and death. Whoever serves me must follow me, he says, and anyone who loves their life will lose it, while anyone who hates their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. But I do love my life. Well, not all the time. I've had some rough patches, but I'm not ready to suffer and die. And then he says, no, that's not it. He picks up a nasturtium seed from the little stash I have hoarded there, lying in the curve of a piece of broken flower pot up on the shelf. This seed, he says, what is it? It's something and nothing. It's hard and dry, withered and dead. It has no meaning and no beauty until it's planted. All the life and the joy and the colour and vitality come from burying it in the earth and letting it give up its substance in favour of life. That's what it's for. I know, I tell him, but me to die and give up everything. I'm not like a nasturtium. I care. He smiles. You're confusing what belongs to life and love in yourself with what can be let go, what can fall into the ground to be a seed. That's normal. Most people do. The important thing is to learn to notice and understand, to learn to see and discern. Anything of which you can say the word my is for planting. My career, my health, my opinion, my rights, my ambitions, my savings. These things, they have their time in your life. They sprout and develop and mature, but they also wither, because they are not life. They grow on and in the ground of your life, but you cannot hang on to them. If you do that, you will have invested your hopes in something that can only die, because that is its nature. Each of these things, once their day is gone, becomes no more than this little nasturtium seed, a dusty, wizened thing. So it is when someone clings on to their money or their position or their status. It had its day and its place in their life, but if they mistake it for life itself, then they will be left with a handful of hard, wizened, shrivelled, dusty little hopes, dead dreams. It's when you let go of them, let them fall, that hope can spring again. What? I say. So I should pack in my job and just be, give all my money away and just hope for the best? He drops the nasturtium seed back carefully onto the pile ready for planting. All I'm saying, he says quietly, is you can realise These things come and go, and learn to know the difference between their fleeting forms and the life that underlies them, the real you, which comes from the breath of God.